Valiant Ute update. Where are we at with this? So my pocket cam did end up deleting a ton of footage from when the boys from No Regrets came up, and we hooked in and got the leaf spring relocation all finished off on this thing. So I'll run this up on the hoist in a minute and we'll have a good look at that. But I'm in the midst of setting up the hard lid now. This hard lid was on the car when it came round. The only thing was all of the hard lid mounting points were all put in there with self-tappers. So when you open and shut it, it was pulling the self-tappers out of the sheet metal and stuff. So now I've fully welded in the strut brackets, and I'm in the middle of working out the rear panel bracket, so getting all that welded in and stuff so that that will not break any more out of the panel and end up being a mess. It's actually working quite nicely, so we'll have a bit of a look at where that's at before I run this up on the hoist. So we've got the struts all set up in there, and then just sort of at the moment they're all self-tapped in just to position it, get it in the right spot. Then I will weld that in and change those self-tappers over to regular spot welds. I'll spot weld those in, don't mind me, I just wandered off then. Also this area here, I've fully replated all of that, so that's all now fresh sheet metal, cut all that open and stuff. So I've got a video on that one as well coming, but I'm going to tie that all into the hard lid setup and the rear end setup. Don't mind me, I'm just in the midst of working this camera out. Okay, so yeah, so there's going to be a video coming on that because I'm already halfway through that stage of the Valiant. So just trying to get this rear end finished off and sealed up into epoxy, because the weather up here has been absolutely shocking. I'm just constantly battling rain sporadically here, there and everywhere. Have been having some really good weather lately, so it means I can start hooking into this thing. So but that's that. So let's get this all run up and have a look at underneath it. Alright, so we got the Valiant Ute up on the hoist. All the leaf spring relocation is all finished. All the floor pans all into epoxy now. I've welded up a ton of little self-tapper holes that were holding in various little brackets and random stuff, and just random holes that people had drilled over the duration of this thing existing. So they're all tidied up and it's looking really good. The boys from No Regrets came up, gave me a hand. They got really involved in this and enjoyed doing what they were doing, so it was really good to see. We had a lot of laughs and all that sort of jazz, as you do when you have a bit of a shed hang. But yeah, so the rear leaf spring has been relocated from the bracket that bolts into here, and it's now solidly mounted into the rail with a crush tube and this outer bracket as well. So that is like, if that pulls out of there, it's ripping that rail clean out of the car. And this one here, the front one, that's all been nice, welded in, blazed in, good and proper. No dramas whatsoever there with all of that. I've filled in all of the factory leaf spring holes for the leaf spring brackets. So it's all looking really good. So the mini tubs are all in. Still need to do some body work under here just to get it a little bit tidier than what it was, because I've been battling cavity wax in this rear end, and it has made welding this an absolute nightmare. So I wanted to TIG weld it all so it was all going to look really nice and stuff, but that cavity wax has really proven to be a nightmare. And the car's been sandblasted, but short of like pulling quarter panels off this car and everything like that, I just cannot get all of that cavity wax out of all of those seams and joins and everything that it's gone into. But they're fully welded in really nice and strong. It's just they're not as pretty of a weld as what I would have been able to get with the TIG. So the next step will be to get this off the hoist and get stuck into some floor pans. So I've got to get all the floor pans done. We've got 2 nice new floor pans, which I'll go over in the video on the floor pan install when I get stuck into that. So that video will be coming for the floor pan install. And then also I have chassis connectors to do to this. So I have to get this off the hoist. So I've got to put the diff in right now, get this off the hoist, put the crown onto the hoist because I need to go over the crown with a few things. So I can start making a plan for that one. And also I need this off the hoist so I can do the chassis connectors, because this needs to be sitting on the ground with the doors on to do the chassis connectors. But there will be a video on the chassis connectors as well. I'll break the 2 in half. So there'll be a video on the floor pans, and then there'll be a video on the chassis connectors going in. So like I said, this isn't a how-to channel, so if you're looking for how-to stuff, you're going to have to find that elsewhere, because I'm not really good at explaining how to do things, and everyone gets in a bit of a flurry about, oh, you've got to do it this way and that way. So this is just me doing things my way, and as per the instructions and what the engineer wants me to be doing with these cars is how these get done. So yes, a lot of it's my way, but a lot of it is me talking to the engineer to make sure that he's happy with the products I'm using, the kits I'm using, the materials and the procedures and everything like that. So I've sent through a big bunch of information through to him on the leaf spring relocation before this even went into epoxy, and I asked him if he'd wanted to come out and stuff and inspect it. So that's all been inspected and everything, and I've been given the tick of approval to move that into epoxy. So that's why that's in epoxy now. Otherwise it'd still be sitting in bare metal till I got the engineer out to come out and sign off on all the welds and everything that's been done to that. So that's all good there, no dramas there. So lots going on with the Valiant. Lots going on. I need to really hook in and get this thing finished, because I need to start working on my own cars and enjoying life, and this is the last tail end of me working on other people's stuff for them. So excited to get this done. So let's get the diff in this and get these cars switched around. Alright, so Valiant's back on its wheels. So, well, rear wheels, front wheel's still on a dolly. Got to get this out and then move the crown over, which the crown's going to be a pain in the bum. So it's going to be a bit of effort, that one, because the thing weighs a ton compared to the Valiant. So see how we go. Let's shuffle these around. So I got all the cars sorted, thanks to my boy Ryan coming out and giving me a hand to get the crown in. That was a battle trying to get over the little hoist floor plate there, and conveniently every single car that comes in here, it lines up with the lump in the shed doorway. So I've got front wheels getting stuck and the back wheels getting stuck, so that's a nightmare. But I do plan on dynabolting a hook into the ground of the concrete at the back That way then I can just use my little block and tackle, hook it up, and then just pull it just that little bit over that hoist hump if I'm having to do this by myself, which for the most part is how this happens. Everyone comes and helps me where they can, but it's one of those things that not everyone can be free all the time whenever I'm trying to move stuff around. So sometimes I've just got to be a little bit more clever in the way I do things and plan stuff a different way. But ground's up on the hoist now, so I will be going over that. There is a reason that is on the hoist, and I also have an update on the Corolla coming as well, so that one will be dropping pretty much very quickly after this one. So this is just the brief overview of the Valiant, so just to catch you guys up. So it's moving along nicely, gonna get there with it. So I'll start working on that very soon. I'm just in the middle of a very big change of life, lifestyle, cars, all of that. So I think everyone goes through this at some point. Me, I just call this a midlife crisis. So well, it's just all it is, I guess. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you guys have got any questions, anything more you'd like to see or me to elaborate on with what we've done, how we've done something, I can let you know how we've done it. Might help you, whatever. Like I said, not a how-to channel, not anything more than just a guy working in a shed showing you what he's got on because he gets involved in too many different things. But that's it for this one. Catch you on the next one.